Hello and welcome to the 16-week transformation challenge information session. So my name is Rachel and I'm going to walk you through what the 16-week transformation challenge is all about. I'm also the owner of InnerFit Studios and I've been a coach for the last 25 years. And I've been helping people lose weight, find confidence, and just feel really good about themselves. And that's what I'm hoping for anybody who wants to be part of this challenge. And we're also going to treat this like a little bit like a workshop. So if you have a pen and paper handy, that's actually going to be really helpful as we walk through this information session. So the challenge starts on October 2nd and technically starts on October 9th. We have a preparation week, which I'll talk to you all about that. So let's jump on in and thank you again for being part of this and just listening and seeing if it's the right fit for you. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at hello@innerfitstudios.com and I'll be sure to answer those questions. So just a little bit of a backstory. So the 16-week program actually was born in 2007 when I first opened up the studio. And I wanted to create a program with my fitness and strength conditioning background that really help people not just lose weight. Losing weight is wonderful and it's, there's so many great benefits of it, but it really helps people feel good about themselves. And at the end of the day, that was my goal, to create a program that was welcoming and it was fun and it was enjoyable and it was something that people could do, because 16 weeks is sustainable when it's done properly and it's done in a supportive and fun environment. And that's exactly what the Transformation Challenge is going to be. Even if it's online, it's going to be supportive and fun and inviting for people. So we had a ton of success stories and I was actually going to bring it back prior to COVID, and then COVID happened, but now we have this amazing opportunity to bring it back and really help people just get the results that you're looking for. So whatever those results are will help you find out what your outcome goal will be, and it's going to be specific to you, but we can all work together regardless of our goal and move forward together. So these are just some of their members from currently to from back in 2007 who had success stories with our programs. These are all my people. But the one thing I really did love was it not just about, when they got to their goals, it was really about how they felt about themselves. And there's something really magical as a coach when you get to witness that moment of confidence, when you get to see them reach their goals. So that for me is rewarding all in itself. And I hope you guys get to experience that in January when we get closer to our goals. Before we even get started, and this is the workshop piece, I think it's really important to really spend some time thinking about where do you want to be in the future. And there's a really simple activity. Now you can skip forward or you can answer these questions. But what I want you to do is I want you just to take a piece of paper. And what you're going to do is you're going to write down the date 1 year from now, and you're going to put your age next to it. And then 5 years from now, and put your age next to it. 10 years and 20 years from now, and put your age next to it. And the reason we do this is because it gives us a glimpse into our future, and we have this ability to create our own future. When we are conscious of what we're doing on a daily basis through our habits and our activities and the things that we're doing, we become responsible for the trajectory that we're on. So if you can do that, what I want you to do is do that on both sides of the paper. So you're going to have this on the front side and on the back side. So you can pause if you want and then come back to me. Okay, so if we're back with me now, the first question I want you to ask yourself is I want you to think about, and you can close your eyes and just take a second and pause me again. The question is, what would my life be like if I changed nothing and I continued on the course that I'm at? So if you think about where you're at, if you're happy, that's wonderful. But if you're kind of like in this place where you're just not happy where you're at, or you want to change some things, if you didn't change anything, where would you be a year from now? And you've got that age now. So I want you to write down what would your life be like? How would you feel? What would be some things you've maybe accomplished, or maybe some things you wanted to accomplish but you didn't? What kind of things do you think you would be doing? And then you go through that 5 years from now, and then you do that 10 years from now, and then you do that 20 years from now. And usually what happens for a lot of people when they see the 10 years and they see their age next to it, it kind of gives them a bit of a wake-up call, because 10 years is going to come and go. And it's one of those things that just kind of gives us pause, because if you think about your age 10 years from now, and you really give yourself some time to think about, if you're making choices now that are going to negatively impact your future, what would your life start to look like? And then once you're done that, so again, I encourage you to pause this and then just go and then write the answers down. And then the second side of the paper, we're going to do a different thing. So we're going to think about, if I made some positive small changes every day moving forward, starting today, and I had a whole bunch of little wins, and I'm not talking about like drastic changes every day, I'm talking about like little changes, and you started making your health something that you love to take care of, what would your life look like just even 1 year from now? So you started to eat a little bit better, you started to get more active, maybe you started going for workouts more, you started moving more. Really start to think about how would you feel? What are the kind of things that you would be doing? And maybe some things that you've accomplished. And you do that 1 year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and 20 years from now. And if you can sit in both places, it's a really good exercise for yourself before you even think about the transformation challenge. It's a really good exercise to sit in and ask yourself some tougher questions and really start to create a future, or rewrite your story is what I call it, as you start to move forward in your life. Because now we're really starting to think about what we want our future to look like, because it's really easy to get busy in our day-to-day lives, and every single day is another day and another day, and the next thing you know, a year's gone by and 5 years has gone by. And if you think where you were 10 years ago, are you where you wanted to be? And if not, it's okay. Now we're having this great opportunity to change the trajectory of your life. So that's where we want to move forward. So if you have some time, I would highly suggest doing that before you finish watching the rest of the video, and maybe it'll just give you a little bit of insight for yourself. So what I want to do is I just want to walk you through this challenge. And again, if questions come up for you, feel free to reach out to me. So a little bit of a background about me, just a tiny bit, so that you know who I am if you've never met me. My name is Rachel, obviously. I'm the founder of Inner Fit Studios. I opened it up in 2007 in Richmond, British Columbia, Canada. I've been nominated for a few awards, but my love is teaching. My love is teaching group fitness and strength conditioning. So I have about 25 years experience and over 50,000 hours of coaching experience. I'm an educator for the British Columbia Parks and Recreation Association and the Canadian Fitness Education Services. So I have a couple different coaching certifications. I'm also a certified group fitness leader, NSCA associate, and I have an education in kinesiology and recreation programming. And some of my specialties, or some of my interests as well, is neurolinguistics programming, which I find really helps me with coaching, holistic nutrition, indoor cycling, group fitness, and then of course my love for coaching. About me, I was a marathon runner for years before I destroyed my knee. I've lost about 120 pounds. I still have some more to go. So I'm going to be on this challenge with you. I'm a very proud auntie. I love my nieces and my nephew. I was recently diagnosed with ADHD, so I am proud of that because I know there's a lot of really good things that come from that. It's easy to get focused on things, when you get a diagnosis like that, but I'm going to focus on the positive. And of course, I love my gross grind. So that's just a little bit of insight about me. And then hopefully I'll get to know you over the course of the 16 weeks. So let's dive into this challenge. First, we want to figure out what your goals are. So we're not just doing a challenge for everybody and saying it's a weight loss challenge. This is a transformation challenge from the inside out. So we really want to think about what are your goals and how do we get specific, and I'll talk about how we do that. So the challenge itself actually starts on October 9th. So like I said, October 2nd, we have the first week we go into a challenge where we have what I call a preparation week, where you have your coaching sessions, you're getting ready for the challenge to start, and so that you feel when day one comes and you're embarking on those next 4 months or 112 days or 16 weeks, whichever number feels best for you, you're walking into this fully prepared and excited, and you've met your community and we get to work together. So it's going to take us all the way until January 28th, 2024, which means you're not going to have to do a New Year's resolution, and I don't believe in New Year's resolutions. Now, I will say this about goals, just so you understand and you'll get to know me a little bit more if you jump on board the challenge. I don't believe in goals. I know you're going to be like, well, why are we doing this in the first place? Here's the thing. The only purpose of a goal is to move you forward. It's not actually about achieving that goal. It's who you become in the process of it. So it's one of those things where, when I was doing my marathon training, I really enjoyed running. So actually running the marathon was the part, like I did it and it was kind of like I checked off the boxes, but I wasn't running because I wanted to run a marathon. I was running because it was something inside of me that just felt really good. And I would go for 20K runs for the fun of it. And I miss those days. But I became a runner, and I was, from the inside to the outside, I was a runner. So the goal itself was the marathon. But it wasn't just about accomplishing that marathon, because if I didn't finish the marathon, it didn't make me any less of a runner. It was all the things I learned and the running groups I joined and the people I met. It was that entire experience in itself that what was amazing about the goal. So your goal, it's not so much about if you specifically achieve it. Your goal is about having an idea of where you want to go and finding a way to get there. Because let's say your goal is to get to 165 pounds. And let's say you get to 170 pounds. So let's say maybe you lost 40 pounds, but your goal was 45 pounds. I don't want somebody to come up to me and be like, oh, I didn't get those last 5 pounds. I want you to be so proud of yourself for getting those 40 pounds off and feeling good about yourself, that you're not being hard on yourself for those last 5 pounds. Because imagine all of the things that you learned about yourself and those habits that you worked on and all these amazing experiences you had just by getting the weight off. So, like I said, I don't believe in goals. I do appreciate what a goal does for us. It moves us forward and it gives us a roadmap, and that's all it's there for. Okay, so we really want to start to think about what your goals are. So what would you like to move forward towards in the next 4 months? So that's how you start to think about your goals. Now, part of this challenge is each person who's part of this challenge is going to have a one-on-one 30-minute coaching session with me, and we'll be able to dive a little bit deeper into understanding what your actual goal is so that you have a roadmap for those next 16 weeks. So the biggest question you can ask yourself is, how would you like to feel in the next 4 months, and then why? And then you can start to think about, well, in 4 months, what would I really start to like to accomplish? Are there things that I've always wanted to do that I've kind of been like stopping myself from actually achieving them? So if you just take some time and you just have a blank piece of paper and you just start writing down all of the things that get you excited. And if you notice some of the things that make you smile, those are the ones you want to highlight and circle. So let's say you've got that blank piece of paper and you're writing down all the things you want to accomplish. And this can be today, it can be in 4 months, it can be in a year. So let's say you're like, Rachel's been harping on me to do the gross grind. So next summer, I'm going to put the gross grind on my list. You know who you are. Maybe you've always wanted to run a 5K running event. Maybe you want to have a day where you walk 20,000 steps. Maybe you've wanted to do a fasting challenge. Maybe there's a whole bunch of things that you've wanted to do, but that are about your health and your wellness and your longevity. I want you to write all of those things down. It could be, I want to get into this outfit. It can be, I've always wanted to be this size. It can be, this number on the scale means something to me. Whatever it is, write everything down and then start going through that list again. And it doesn't have to be organized. Write it all down and then take a highlighter, a pencil, crayon, or a different color pen. And I want you to look at each one. And if it makes you smile and it fills you up, I want you just to take note of it. And that's how we start to find goals that actually have some value. Because if you say, I want to lose 30 pounds, but there's no meaning behind that goal for you, it's not going to get you anywhere. Because on the days when it's coming into winter and it's dark outside and it's rainy and it's cold and you've got a 6 a.m. class you've got to get to and you need that why, you got to figure out what that why is. And then that part that makes you smile, that's the part that's going to move you forward. So those are the goals that we want to be working around, not just I want to lose 30 pounds. And this is where the coaching is going to come into play over the next 16 weeks. You're going to see how coaching really starts to allow your mindset to really start to shift and feel really good. Okay, so that's the point. The other thing I want to mention really briefly as we go through this session about the 16-week challenge is this really is not about perfection. I know for some people who are perfectionists, this may be hard. But like I said, a goal is simply designed to move you forward. Same as this challenge. There are going to be some really amazing days and you're going to accomplish some things. You're going to be so proud of yourself and you're going to share it with a group and we're going to celebrate you. And then there's going to be some really shitty days. There's going to be some days where you couldn't get it together. And that's okay because you're going to share that with your group and your group is going to support you so that we find a better way or a new strategy or a solution to whatever is coming up for you, because there's a reason why something happened. And if it's maybe you didn't feel like you had the motivation, we're going to get underneath and figure out where the motivation's coming from. So there's going to be big wins, there's going to be small wins, but I need you to understand that it's not about perfection. This is about every day moving forward for the next 16 weeks and being conscious of this process, because I see a lot of people with their fitness and their weight loss and their health goals, and they set a goal and they say, this is where I'm going to be in a year from now. And then a year comes and they're nowhere near where they want to be because it got put on the back burner. They weren't working on it. And it's something that we need to be actively working on if we want to see change. But it's something that you should want to work towards. Like your health, like we say all the time, like your soul or who you are has one body. If we're not taking care of this one body, there's nothing left. So we need to make sure that we're making our health a priority. It is not selfish. It should be the number one thing on your task list. If your task list is going for a walk or getting something at work done, your choice is going for a walk, work can wait. Because it's those daily little things of like the mental clarity you get from the walk and how it makes you feel and the energy you get and the habits that you're creating and the choice you made when you were feeling tired that you went for the walk instead of doing something that wasn't going to serve you. Once you finish the walk, then do the things that you need to do, okay? And again, this is not about perfection, but it's really putting our health on the forefront, because it doesn't take much to look around us and see people who don't take care of themselves and what happens. You can change it, and I don't care what age somebody is at. I don't care where their health status is at. The most beautiful thing about fitness is you can change it today. So that's a decision that you have to make. So when it comes to this challenge, you get this one-on-one session with me. So we're really going to spend some time to discover what that outcome goal is for you. We're going to figure out your why. We're going to discuss some things, what I call your blocked pathways. So we're going to figure out like what's causing you from being unsuccessful right now so that we can get rid of those blocks and move you forward. And then we're going to really focus on some intrinsic motivation. One of the things for me, I exercise not for weight loss. Weight loss is a byproduct of exercising. I exercise purely because I know it's going to make me feel better. So whether I got up this morning and I went for a walk and I actually went for just a second walk, I do things that make me feel better, not for any other reason, because I know that if I go for a walk, I'm going to feel better. If I go for a workout, I'm going to feel better. You never regret those things, right? So we want to have this one-on-one coaching session first. It doesn't matter if we do it, even right through for the first couple weeks of the challenge. We'll get through everybody, but it'll just kind of really start you on that successful path, okay? The next thing that's going to be a key feature of this transformation challenge is this group coaching. So not only does it make coaching very affordable, it's online and it's also as a group. And there's going to be 2 sessions a week that you get to choose from. You can do both if you want. There's going to be an evening session and then a mid-morning session. So depending on your schedule, but you're welcome to join both. So it's going to be a tool that really does set this challenge apart from everybody else. So they're going to be about 35 to 45 minutes each session. Sometimes they go an hour. It really just depends. And you can always jump in or jump out whenever you need to. But really what it does is it helps you stay conscious of this journey, be mindful of your goals, but really think about every week. Am I having a setback this week and how do I get through it? Have I had a really good week? Am I going to celebrate my little wins so that I'm reinforcing these healthy patterns? Therefore, I'm building momentum and moving forward. So it really starts to address what's your neural pathways in your brain. And I won't get too much into this, but we have habits that are hardwired into our brain. We've learned them from life experience. We've learned them from people. They can be generational. And sometimes, let's say your goal is to, give up something. And you say, that's it, I'm never drinking wine again. I'm sure that everybody's probably had this experience when we've said, I'm never eating sugar again. I'm never doing this again. And what happens is we think that we're going to never do this again, but these habits and these neural pathways get in the way. So instead of trying to hard change things, what we're going to do is we're going to rewire some of these neural pathways in a really healthy and positive way. We're going to reinforce some new habits through our daily goals. And then we're going to get together a couple of times a week and be supportive of each other and have fun because I know the people that are in this group, I know we're going to have fun and they're going to move forward together. So we really just want to figure out what habits are not serving you. And then how can we change those habits? How can we celebrate each other? And then how can we make sure that we're doing this together? Because you are 95% more likely to succeed at a program when you're in a supportive, fun, and engaging group, okay? So just a little bit about those habits. So when we start talking about the habits, there's a little part in your journal. This is your journal. Everybody gets a copy of it. So we have these habits, and what we want to do is we want to create really awesome habits that match your outcome goals, that are tiny, that are going to be reinforcing these positive behaviors. And over time, those positive behaviors just become new default settings in your brain. And now your brain decides, instead of so a really good example is, if you're feeling tired, a lot of people will be, I'm feeling tired, I just need to sit down and have a little rest. So what they do is they sit down, they have a little rest, they grab something from the fridge, they pop on their favorite show, an hour has gone by and nothing beneficial has come out of it. They're still tired, they're still not feeling good, and now they've probably eaten about 500 or 800 calories, let's be honest. Or the default setting could, I'm feeling tired, I'm going to go for a walk. Even if it's raining, I'm going to put my rain jacket on and I'm just going to go for a walk around the block and then sit down and watch TV and watch what happens, because there's a ton of brain scans that show those 20 minutes going for a walk lights up your brain, makes you feel better instantly, right? So if your default setting, if what you're saying to yourself is, I am tired, but the default setting is, let's go for a walk. Now we're starting to change these hardwired habits, hardwired default settings into these healthy patterns. And imagine your life and how it starts to shift when this becomes your default setting all the time. So when something challenging comes up in front of you, like someone says, hey, let's go for a hike, instead of your answer being, no, that's too hard, you're like, I think it's going to be hard, but I'd actually like to try it. Can I go with you? But I'm probably going to be a little bit slow. You start to have this different conversation, and you can see this with people. And I see this all the time with all the people that I work with at my studio, all of my success stories, all my members. When they do something that they start to see a change in behavior, or they're like, I never liked fitness, and now all of a sudden, I can't imagine not exercising for a week, right? You really start to see these changes, people's patterns of behavior. And that's that long-term stuff I was talking about. And that's the amazing thing about coaching when it comes to your health and your fitness and your wellness. You don't have to do this by yourself. And I hope that you don't do this by yourself. Okay? So these are these 3 daily habits. Now in your journal, see if I can pull it up quickly. In your journal, you're going to see these 3 action steps. They're at the very top of your journal. So we're going to choose 3 habits, and these are probably going to evolve over time. So we're going to choose a fitness habit to work on, we're going to choose a nutrition habit to work on, and we're going to choose a lifestyle habit to work on. And these are going to be micro. When I'm talking about micro, I'm talking about micro. So your fitness habit, maybe if you're just starting out, maybe it's to do a 20-minute walk around the block. And the first 4 weeks, that's been your focus. It'll be 20 minutes around the block, have a liter of water every single day. And instead of watching TV for 2 hours, I'm going to read a book for an hour and I'm going to watch TV for another hour. Or maybe a lifestyle habit for you is you just want to learn more. So you're like, I'm going to read 10 pages of a book every single day. So you're just starting to think about things that will work for you, but very small, tiny habits. Now, the cool thing about these small, tiny habits is that they evolve into these changes, and they reinforce these patterns of behavior in our brain through this repetitive behavior that now it starts to become part of your daily routine. And it's instead of focusing on the things we don't want to do, all we want to do is focus on positive habits, and those other habits that are not serving you or they're sabotaging our success are just going to fall to the wayside, which is what we're hoping for. So we're going to focus on this. And now these 3 things are going to evolve throughout the challenge. And every month we're going to come back, we're going to take a look, like, how can I take my daily habits to the next level? How can I increase my success? How can I get closer to my goal? And by being mindful of this for the next 16 weeks and every month really starting to take a look at things that are happening for you, you're really starting to evaluate all these changes. So again, we're being conscious of this journey, and that's that benefit of these 16 weeks. Okay. So now, if you're thinking about the challenge, one of the cool things that we do is we always have a kickoff event, and this is online. So this is the first group session we're going to have together. So this means only people who are part of the challenge are going to be part of this. This is going to kick us off. It's going to talk a lot about our Kickstarter cleanse. We're going to jump into the challenge. We're going to talk about our goals. We're going to talk about these daily habits, and we're all going to get on board at the same time, at the same day. So if you are joining, I really do hope you registered before October 1st, but if not, you're watching this later, you can always watch it online because everything is going to be on your dashboard and your app, which we'll talk about shortly. So there will be a Zoom link and it'll be super easy to just jump on board. You can watch from your phone or you can watch on your computer. The next thing that happens is our prep week. And this is really important. And I know people get really eager for these challenges, and I've been a little bit mysterious. I haven't been saying much to the people who are already registered. They're kind of wondering what's going on. And that's kind of my intention because I don't want people going extreme. Because I know what happens with challenges. They're like, I'm going to have my last meal on Sunday and I'm going to binge eat all day long. And then here comes Monday and then they go crazy. And then by Wednesday they crash. I've done this for 25 years and we're not doing this anymore. We're changing this whole way the fitness industry does it because it's not serving you and it's not healthy. That's just a gimmick to get people to join programs that are unhealthy because people are marketing on your desperation to lose weight, and that's not why we're here. We are here to help you find a better way, to feel good about yourself, to find your confidence, and all those amazing things. So I want really good things for you. So the prep week, we're going to spend an entire week together. We're going to have our coaching sessions that week. We're going to ease into this challenge. We're going to start taking a look at our food, and we're going to be looking at topics of nutrition. We're going to be taking a look at topics of fitness and self-worth and confidence and follow-through and habits. So we have some big topics we're going to be covering over the next 16 weeks, and we're going to do this in small little doses so that it feels good to learn and it's easy to understand and it's easy just to jump on board with it. So no extreme behavior that week. And also because the challenge actually starts just after Thanksgiving. It actually starts on Thanksgiving Monday. So we're going to be grateful for the challenge on Thanksgiving Monday, but also that we allow ourselves to start a challenge after holiday as well. So the challenge itself starts on October 9th. It's going to run until January 28th. So here's some of the details if you're still with me. And I know I like to choose, a picture of somebody on a mountain. But one of the things I will say about this and why I always bug people about doing something like the Gross Grind if you're local to Vancouver is because when people take on a challenge that is like hard and it doesn't feel good when you're doing it, when you get at the top of that, the look that people have in their eyes, it's like they have this like instant moment of like, I did it. This like instant belief change because they did something hard that they didn't think that they could do, and they knew it was hard going up and it felt hard going up. It probably didn't feel good going up. But when you get to the top and you realize what you actually are physically and mentally capable of, that is what I want you to experience at the end of these 16 weeks. Just this like, I did it and I'm proud of myself. And I can't wait for my next goal, so that we're taking our goals and we're just breaking them down into doable stages, okay? And there'll be another one coming up. So part of the challenge is you have an app. It's easy to use. So once you register, it'll show you how to download the app. You can also access all of your content from your computer. So it's super simple. So everything will be on your app, every session we have. I do not record the coaching live sessions themselves because they're, conversations we're having with everybody. And also if I record it, that doesn't encourage people to join us live, which I want. So that will not be recorded, but I will record the topic that we talked about each week as well. Then we're going to be jumping on to a Kickstart cleanse. Now, this is not an extreme, crazy challenge. There's going to be different levels of what a Kickstart cleanse means, and you're going to choose what works best for you, and we're going to talk about that in the next week. The cleanse will take place from October 10th to 13th, and the reason we do this, because our body is tired. It's tired from the processed foods. It's tired from the stuff we're putting into it. It's tired from the processed carbohydrates, the breads, the pastas, the garbage we're putting into our bodies. And if we want our body to have a fighting chance to perform better for us, to give us mental clarity, to give us energy, to make us feel good, we want to start adding these 3-day cleanses every month. But a cleanse is doable. It can be easy, it can be enjoyable, and when you're doing it with a group of people and you feel a little bit of struggle in the beginning and you have your group chat going, It can also be a lot of fun because it's, one of those things where you suffer together and we have fun together. That's what it's about. So there's going to be different levels of a Kickstart cleanse that you can do, and you're going to choose what level is going to be best for you. And we're really going to try our best to get rid of just some of the food that's sabotaging our success right away so that we can start incorporating better choices when it comes to food, okay? Now, when we talk about a nutrition program, because we're all different and we all have different goals, and I don't believe in giving out diet programs because they don't work, we need to find a way to meet your energy requirements with food that's healthy for you and it's going to meet your goals. So I'm going to give you some options to work from. But the number one thing to do when you first start doing this, and as you're leading yourself into the 16 weeks, and this is the best advice I can give anybody, is today start a food diary. Whether it's in a journal, whether it's on an app, or just writing down what you're eating, just starting the first step, which is being mindful of the foods that we're putting into our body, the alcohol, the coffee, the sugary drinks, that kind of stuff. Then once you can see it, and you need at least 7 days of data, 14 days is even better. If you get 14 days of data, we really get to see what people are eating. Because sometimes people give me like a 3-day brief kind of look into what they're eating, and they tell me, I'm eating really good, Rachel. I don't understand why I'm not seeing results. And I guarantee you that they're probably giving me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then come Saturday, Sunday, Monday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, their nutrition program has gone out the window. So this is not a diet program. I don't want anybody dieting on this program. I don't want anybody talking about calories. I want you guys talking about the quality of food that we're consuming so we're having the energy to meet the needs that are required for the goals that we want to achieve. So that will help us moving forward, okay? Now, there's lots of different tools that you guys can use, and I'm happy to provide the weighing and measurements at the studio for anybody who would like to. And you need to just start thinking about what you want your markers to be. And markers are something that you use either on a daily basis or a weekly basis. So that can be weighing yourself in every day if you have a goal for weight loss. Remember, the scale doesn't define who you are. It can be doing measurements once a week, and it can be doing just a simple measurement. A measurement underneath your armpits around your chest, and then a waist measurement where your belly button is. 2 simple measurements, it starts to see some of the changes. If you're looking for more of like a transformation challenge kind of thing where you're wanting to see changes physically, I recommend honestly taking a photo every single day. Actually, I recommend that for every single person's challenge, to take a selfie or to take a shot every single day or a little mini video. You'll be so happy. And it's one of the biggest things I regret. I took some photos, but when you're at your heaviest, when I was over 350 pounds when I first started losing my weight, and I had just left an abusive marriage and I wasn't in a good place, but I didn't really take any pictures because I just was in such a bad place. And I'm mad at myself for not taking those pictures and videos because it really allows you to see your progress. And on the days where I'm having a low, sometimes I have to take those reminders because, and as someone I'm coming to you from a place of empathy. I understand what it's like to sit on an airplane and ask for an extender. I understand what it feels like to not fit in a chair. I understand what it feels like to feel out of breath walking up a set of stairs, and now I'm doing the gross grind all the time. It's not easy carrying extra weight. So if weight is your goal, find a way to measure your success so that you are just seeing these changes every single day. Because the first 4 weeks, you might not notice a lot of things, but if you took a picture today and then took a selfie of your face today, no filters, and then a month from now, I promise you're going to see changes in your face. And sometimes a lot of people say that their eyeballs are a lot whiter. And people tend to glow a little bit more when they're in a really healthy state, right? So even those first 4 weeks, we're starting to make changes, you're going to see changes. So photos are a really great tool. The scale is a really great tool. Measuring yourself is a great tool, and just using your daily journal. So in the journal, every single day you get to write down what your day is like, your nutrition, everything that's going on for you. And it's a great tool for you. Okay. A cool part of this, and I'm excited about this, is we're going to be doing online workouts. So I'm going to be recording my strength training sessions during the week. I was actually originally going to do this live, but we're just going to do the recordings. So twice a week, I'm going to record the sessions. They're going to be in there, and then you can work out with us from home. So all you need is maybe just a fitness bench and a set of weights and maybe a kettlebell if you have the opportunity to get one. And it's going to be a strength workout that you can do at home with us. So if you're just starting out, or you've been working out for a while, but you don't really have a lot of access to gyms and stuff, just do the workouts with us twice a week and then add walking or some extra cardio. And then I'll try my best to add some bonus workouts in there for you so that we have lots of workouts. And if you're even an InnerFit member and you miss a workout and you want to work out at home, that's going to be an option for you as well. And I'm also going to ask our Miss Kelly to do some yoga for us as well. And then I'm really excited about this journal because this took a hot minute for me to create. The journal is 16 weeks, it's 112 days. Every single day, it's a really good tool or metric for you guys to follow along. And I think probably my favorite part of this whole entire thing is this sheet called Eat the Frog. Okay, so what it is, you know how you always have these things, like these tasks in your life that just kind of feel like they're like, a burden on your shoulder, right? Like, maybe you need to return a library book, or maybe you need to clean the bathroom, or maybe you just need to return something to Costco. And it's like these things are just kind of weighing on you. Every week, I want you to write down those 7 things, and then you cross them off your list. You just color them in. And there's also a weekly planner, which I'm excited about because it allows you to think about your week ahead of time. So, your week is coming up, but you've pre-planned what your workout days are going to be. So it just really, again, makes you conscious of this journey. And it also has your coaching prep forms in it. So every time we have a coaching session, each week you have your coaching prep forms so that they're there and you can write down what you took away from the challenge, from the coaching session as well. So lots of tools in that. So make sure you register early if you want to get that before that starts. And just kind of finally, why join this? Well, I think I've talked a lot about this, but I've said this before and I'll say it again. I do not want people in this challenge who don't want to be in it. I want people in this challenge, even if you're on the fence, I want people in this challenge who are just ready for something different and they're ready for a change and they want to be around a supportive group of people and they're excited to be coached and they're excited to learn about themselves and they want to feel better in 16 weeks. Those are the people that should be part of this challenge. I don't care if your goal is a 5-pound weight loss or a 200-pound weight loss, or you just want to get some abs, or you just want to feel better, or you want to live better, or you want to play with your grandchildren, or you want to have more energy for your kids. Like I said, the goal is irrelevant. The benefit of this challenge is that you're staying conscious for the next 16 weeks because I know it works. I've owned my studio for 15 years, 16 years now. I've been a coach for 25 years. I have seen what works and I have seen what doesn't. And I know come January 28th, there's going to be a lot of people from this challenge that are going to have amazing stories and they're going to feel good about themselves and they're going to have transformations and they're going to be reaching some big goals. And I promise you, because this happens every single time, that the people that didn't join are going to say, I really wish I had just joined because they wanted that success too. And they're going to start seeing people reaching their goals and doing it. So I invite you to join. Whether you are part of the studio, whether you're a complete stranger to the studio, you'll become part of our studio. You'll become part of our community. InnerFit Studios is about welcoming everybody, all ages, all sizes, all fitness levels, men and women, any gender. Anybody who wants to be part of this challenge is invited to take part. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for paying attention today and joining me on this journey with you. And feel free to reach out to me at any time because I really do want this for you. And I care about my clients and I care about my members and I care about my studio. And being part of something like this is the most rewarding part of my career. So again, I will post the link to the challenge to join. So if you want to join, thank you. And I'm excited to meet you. And if not, maybe we'll see you in another challenge. All right. So have a great day and I'll see you at the end.